Hey everyone, welcome to Pop Links. This might be one of the biggest relationship twists in hip-hop history. Imagine leaving the woman who stood by you through years of prison time, public shade, and industry drama, only to get dumped in front of the world by the woman you left her for. That's exactly what people say happened to Papoose. Claressa Shields, the self-proclaimed greatest woman of all time in boxing, reportedly ended things with him like it was nothing. And not quietly either. Sources say she made it crystal clear. The same insiders claim Papoose has been walking around with a blank stare, mumbling about mistakes and lost chances. In other words, regret is eating him alive. To make things worse, word on the street is that Remy Ma isn't even taking his calls. The woman who once defended him through everything has supposedly moved on, watching the chaos from afar like it's her favorite TV series. And the streets. They are eating this up, popcorn in hand, calling it pure karma. But to understand how he got here, we have to rewind. Papoose and Remy were once hip-hop's ultimate couple. He visited her every week during her 6-year prison sentence, speaking openly about loyalty and love. That image of him as the devoted husband was part of his brand. Then the whispers started. People began noticing him at Claressa Shields events, not just as a casual supporter, but looking a little too comfortable. Private conversations, lingering hugs, things that didn't look innocent when the cameras caught them. Soon, Pap was at training camps, photo shoots, and dinners without Remy. Behind the scenes, Claressa was engaged to someone else. Still, insiders say Pap and Claressa's chemistry grew. Flirty texts, late night, you up, messages, rumors claimed it crossed the line. Remy allegedly confronted him, but he defended Claressa instead of shutting things down. Eventually, Pap left Remy for Claressa, thinking it was his big move. But not long after, Claressa allegedly told him it was over. She wanted to focus on herself, and maybe reconnect with her ex. The humiliation hit hard. Pap went from red carpets with Remy to paparazzi shots in baggy sweats, looking like a man who'd lost everything. Social media dragged him, calling it the ultimate downgrade. And just when it couldn't get worse, Claressa's ex reportedly started leaking receipts, messages, audio clips, and photos, painting Pap as someone who bragged about taking her. Overnight, the story turned from sad breakup to calculated betrayal. Now, Papoose isn't just dealing with heartbreak, he's fighting to salvage what's left of his name. Papoose's fall from grace wasn't just a little misstep in love, it was a full-blown spectacle. At first, people saw him as just another guy who made a bad romantic choice. But as the details came out, the story shifted. Suddenly, he was the man who stepped into someone else's territory, messed it up, and ended up paying the price himself. Remy Ma, on the other hand, didn't have to lift a finger to come out on top. She let her social media do the talking. On Instagram, she started posting short, sharp captions that weren't aimed at anyone directly, but left no doubt about who they were for. Things like, "The trash took itself out," or "Sometimes God removes what you wanted to give you what you deserve." Fans loved it. Every post went viral, with thousands of comments cheering her on and reminding Pap what he had lost. While Remy was thriving, Pap's career began to feel the hit. The music industry noticed the mess, and it wasn't a good look. Some promoters started quietly canceling his bookings, saying they didn't want unnecessary drama overshadowing their events. Sponsorship deals stalled. The man once respected for being loyal to his wife was now being labeled unpredictable and untrustworthy. Then came the whispers, and they weren't harmless rumors. Multiple sources, including people allegedly close to Claressa Shields, hinted at a tell-all. Not just about their short-lived romance, but about the private drama behind it. That kind of information could seriously damage what was left of his image, and maybe even land him in legal trouble. When you're dealing with someone as high-profile as Claressa, there's big money, contracts, and branding on the line. If private messages or photos leak, lawsuits can follow, and according to insiders, the receipts were explosive. Pap, feeling the heat, started reaching out to mutual friends, hoping to smooth things over with Remy. Not to get back together, but at least to calm the public backlash. But Remy wasn't interested. One longtime friend allegedly said, "This isn't a fight, it's a funeral, and Pap just doesn't know it yet." Every public appearance she made seemed deliberate, flawless hair, powerful outfits, that knowing smile. And to twist the knife, she was reconnecting with industry contacts Pap had fallen out with, making his professional world even smaller. Claressa eventually broke her silence, but not in a rant. In an interview, she simply said, "Some people come into your life to teach you lessons, and sometimes that lesson is what you don't want." She didn't need to say more. The internet got the message. Pap tried some damage control, liking old photos of him and Remy, posting vague messages about loyalty and mistakes, but fans weren't buying it. Then the situation got even worse. A leaked text thread appeared to show Pap telling a friend he was using his relationship with Claressa to gain access to certain circles in sports and entertainment. If true, it turned him from a heartbroken man into someone who was playing for clout and got played himself. That's when Claressa's ex-fiancé entered the picture. While everyone else was making noise, he had been staying quiet, collecting proof. The biggest piece: a voice recording where Pap allegedly called Claressa a stepping stone to bigger opportunities. When it leaked, it was like gasoline on the fire. Social media erupted with jokes, memes, and side-by-side photos of Pap looking miserable. Even brands were throwing shade. Remy stayed silent, which was smart, and her old interviews about loyalty and self-worth resurfaced, now doubled as Pap slander. Claressa, meanwhile, delivered a calm, but cutting message on Instagram Live: "People come into your life with intentions you can't see at first. But the truth always comes out, and when it does, you let God handle the cleanup." No names, but no one doubted who she meant. Then, another twist. An industry insider claimed Pap had been warned not to get involved with Claressa in the first place because she was still engaged and the optics would be bad. He ignored it. Now, his career was in free fall. A major collaboration disappeared. A festival promoter allegedly said, "We are not here to sell tickets to a soap opera." Even at public appearances, the heckling started. Just when people thought the drama couldn't get any messier, more alleged texts surfaced, this time between Claressa and her ex-fiancé, suggesting she wasn't that into Pap from the start. If true, it meant Pap left a loyal wife for someone who never saw him as more than temporary entertainment. The rumor mill now buzzes about a possible joint interview between Remy and Claressa's ex, not to bash Pap directly, but to share their lessons learned. That would be a PR nightmare for him. Pap has reportedly been offering journalists exclusive interviews to clear the air. But at this point, the public seems to have made up its mind. And hanging over it all is talk of one final piece of evidence, possibly a video, that Claressa might be keeping as her trump card. If she drops it, his career might not recover. So here we are. Remy Ma's reputation is untouched, maybe even stronger. Claressa Shields is still in control of her narrative. Pap is cornered, publicly, professionally, and personally. The only question now is whether the next blow will be the one that finishes his career completely. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Pop Links for more awesome content.